Well, it's been 2 weeks since I was last down here on the Litchfield Canal restoration, and there's been some incredible developments since I was last here. Let's take a look at this. But before we get started, let's go back an hour. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video on the Litchfield Canal restoration, where we take an early morning and very beneficial walk down at Darnford Moors. And from there we up over the A38 motorway to Tamworth Road and to Cricket's Lane, and the works going off down there all the way to Gallows Wharf. It has been an incredible month of progress here in May 2025, so why not come with me and let's take another look at the fastest progressing canal restoration anywhere across the UK's inland waterways. Darnford Moors Ecology Park, and a rare opportunity to see it in the early hours of the morning. My way home from work in the early hours of the morning affords me the opportunity to take a stroll here. I am what is commonly referred to on the canals as a liveaboard, living with my wife and my 2 dogs on my 57-foot Heron manufactured in Huddersfield in 2001. But Nigel, I hear you ask, you could take a walk anywhere on the inland waterways. Why do you choose here? Why? Because in many ways it goes against all the odds of ever getting a canal back into water again. The Litchfield Canal was opened in 1797 as the Oakley section of the Wiley and Essington Canal from Brown Hills to the Coventry Canal at Uddlesford Junction. Renamed the Litchfield Canal for easier national recognition, it drops down 30 lock through 7 miles of open countryside with magnificent views. For 150 years it formed a vital link in the national network, carrying coal and many other goods. However, in 1954, due to competitive transport, it was closed and later drained of water, parts being sold off, filled in, or left to lie derelict. Later, and in 1841, the Atherton Canal opened, closed in 1955 due to mining subsidence, until in 1988 the Litchfield and Atherton Canal Restoration Trust was established, now being lovingly restored to reconnect through the Birmingham Canal navigations. I'm here at Darnford Moors Ecology Park. I'm going for a stroll. Come along with me. Yes, good morning. I'm between a stretch of road that runs between Darnford Moors Ecology Park, where I've just been for a walk. It was absolutely glorious. I got to finish a little bit earlier. And there's the A38 motorway, so the Litchfield Canal will run across here. It will join Darnford Park over there, with a staircase lock, and then it'll run down to Bobby's Bend, going under the A51 on Tamworth Road eventually, and then down to the Pounds through 25, down to 24 at Cricket's Lane, where I'm going now, and then beyond. So there's 650 metres of restoration going on at the moment. We're in 2025, we're going into 2026, and it's an exciting time for the canal. They're hoping to get it in water in 18 months. 18 months they're hoping to get that section in water. So I'm just going down there now to cover that, have a look at that, see what the progress is. You know, when you consider the realignment at Darnford Moors, the old Lock 29 and the agreement made with the cricket club, when you consider that and take into account that the canal has to go under the A38 in a different direction down here at Heath Road, that's quite a lot achieved by the trust. Anyway, it's Barrowcop now, and to further my walk. Just look at that, it's absolutely beautiful, and I think it's barely 6 o'clock in the morning. And from a geographical perspective, that way is where I've just come from, at Darnford Moors. Millennium lock then. I've taken a look at this in a recent video, but it's always nice to have another flyby. So here we go. And of course the brickwork and the lock gear synonymous with the Birmingham Canal navigation, and in excellent repair, as you can see. I'd noticed several comments in a couple of other videos that people having their concerns about the housing development nearby. But just listen to that. This is the early hours of the morning. I don't think it's going to alter anything other than enhance this entire area. So one housing development is going to complement another canal development. And I think that is a worthwhile venture for anybody's money. And I, for example, live on my boat, so I get up to that sound every morning. And it's nice that when I come back from a night shift, I'm treated to it. And it's just a perfect remedy for sleep. Well, I have to say that Tamworth Road, walking back to the Narrows and then down to Gallows, both the Reach and the Wharf, and then down to St John's Grange at this time of the morning is so incredibly calming. And look at this. One of my favourite sayings when I give a briefing on site is that a tidy worksite is a happy worksite, and I can tell, even though there's nobody here, that's what's going off here. And look at all those reclaimed bricks, all need cleaning off and palletising. Would that be a calming job? And as the water gently falls away down to Bobby's Bend, the weir constructed there, and then under the A38, I think to myself, what a fantastic view. These volunteers, for all their effort, this deserves to go back into water, just so it can look where I'm currently moored right now. Perfect. And before we go any further and to take a look at the money raised for lock number 24, the Trust's Big Gift Green Match Fund Appeal raised an amazing £157,154 in the 7 days between the 22nd and the 29th of April. There's the full breakdown. Sadly, the full target wasn't achieved, and the Trust did lose some of the championship funding. However, the final total is likely to be £164,840. Well then, let's get into character. It seems that all vital services have been located down here at Cricket's Lane. All ground investigations completed. That's looking very good for new lock 24. There's the water pipe lock, redirection there, spurring off from the main pipe. So glad to have captured this for you. Hope you find it interesting. It's interesting for me, of course, because this is one of the first jobs I did at Market Harbour train station back in 2018. And it's great that I've captured it for you here. Once again, from my perspective, nice tidy works. And it's great to be able to show you that and what it looks like now. And there you go. And from the perspective of where the no HS2 traffic signage stands, that's approximately the new position of lock 24. And a brief look at what it looked like during the excavations at Cricket's Lane here at the Narrows, and what it looks like now. The affectionately named, and for this video, a Litchfield Falls seems to be operating smoothly from the big pipe. The temporary weir was constructed with pipe work to redirect the water away from the canal bed and discharge it downstream, as seen earlier in the video. Once it was in place, it was ready for the big pipe to come out, and indeed it did. And in turn allowing the team to start work on the offside wall, continuing to lay the concrete base and build the brickwork of the canal wall, cutting in where it was left last year. Pretty soon they will be working adjacent to the culvert works at Cricket's Lane, This truly is an exciting time for the project. A real example of the great work being done by these dedicated volunteers. Another worthwhile visit to the Litchfield, and it's only about 3 degrees, but you don't know that because you're sat watching it. Just going to take a walk now down to Gallows Reach, see what's happened down there, and then it's job done. Here we are at Fish Face. Preparation has been made for the lift bridge, and as far as temporary footpaths go, it looks pretty good. This is earlier in May. Work had just finished for the day, and everything was laid back down. And this is the state of play under London Bridge. As you can see, that they started to expose the big pipe and they were getting ready for laying concrete. But this just highlights again how quick moving this project actually is. And I have to keep saying it, and I will reiterate it, it's all volunteer led, so the progress is quite remarkable. And as we progress through, just a reminder that this is the early part of May 2025. Trilo there. More works, as you can see here, to build the wall along the canal bed wall and fortify again around the big pipe. It's all looking good. And then what I'll do now is I'll bring you bang up to the end of May 2025, and to make that comparison so you can see the great work being done. In my previous video on the Litchfield, I sat with Rick the Brick Walter. We talked about his work down here, in particular right now at Gallows Wharf. Looks like he's completed the piers underneath the footsteps that have been installed here at London Road. Again, nice tidy work. Work set to continue, of course, but it's progressing to its final conclusion. And I think I'll be pretty proud of that because he started these back in 2018. My video with Rick is quite extensive and insightful, and you can click on the thumbnail at the end of this video. It's well worth a watch. I had an absolute blast talking to him. Very informal, lots of laughs. It's just what you want, particularly on a volunteer-led project like this. And even though the Trust struck a big victory with the big pipe down at the Narrows, it rears its ugly head here again at the wharf. And from an extract from the latest edition of Cut Both Ways, the plan here is to extend the wharf wall to the first of these pipe clashes, and then to install sheet piling from there to where the pipe next passes the bank. This will allow the Trust to progress for at least a couple of months without disturbing the pipe. Underpinning the pipe with concrete and casting a rear wall foundation. Well, that's it for me as I finish my walk here at St John's Grange. Come and join us again in June for more exciting development. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did this with your favourite narrowboating channel, I'm sure that they would appreciate it just as much as I do, whether that's here, in fantastic locations such as this great development on the Chesterfield Canal. And please consider also liking this video, sharing this video, and hitting the bell for notification as future videos as they arrive on the channel. Thanks very much for watching my latest restoration video. I'll see you all again in my next one. Do take care.